Welcome to day 4 of your virtual Pilates workout series, and welcome back to Life Full of Zest. As always, a very warm welcome to those of you who are joining me on the mat today. As I always say, it is so great to have people joining me with this and just all leading towards a common goal of being healthy and happy. And I really hope you've had a beautiful week and are ready to end off your day or start off your day wherever you are in the world with a beautiful 30-minute full body Pilates workout. So let's get straight into it. When you're ready, please join me in a seated position at the end of the mat. You're going to be facing the front of the mat, and we're just going to start with your feet in a little bit of a butterfly posture or position. The soles of your feet are in contact with one another. Placing your hands on your knee, you're just going to take a deep inhale, and as you're exhaling, you're just closing those eyes. And another deep inhale and exhale. Let's lengthen that spine. Another inhale, and then drawing those shoulders down that back. As you lengthen that spine, let's take another inhale. Now we're just going to focus on engaging that core, sucking in that pelvic floor as you activate those upper back muscles, just making sure that you're in that good posture. There's a good balance between left and right. Let's take another deep inhale. And on that exhale, we're going to lift those arms up towards the sky and then grabbing opposite elbows with our hands. We're going to draw our feet and our knees together. Feet are on the mat. Deep breath in. Exhale, leaning our left elbow towards the sky. Inhale to center. And then our right elbow towards the sky. So while you're doing this, just allow the body to stretch out. And I want you to, as you lift that right shoulder up, draw that left sits bone down into the ground. Inhale to center, and then same thing with the left side. And when you're moving from left to right, just try and activate that core to make sure that those knees stay aligned. And let's do one more on each side. And lifting arms all the way up towards the sky. Deep breath in, then placing them on your shins. And we're just going to do a few seated cat-cows. So you're going to inhale and then roll that spine down. Tucking in that chin, just allowing that stretch down that neck and the back of their back. Deep breath in. Exhale, opening that chest towards the sky. We're going to do that a few more times, just focusing on that breath. Allowing that mind to develop an awareness of your body. Just enjoying this time, seeing it as an opportunity to invest in yourself, invest in your physical health, as well as your mental health and well-being. And last one, lifting up. Deep breath in, lifting arms all the way up to the sky, crisscrossing those legs, taking a deep inhale. Exhale, placing your hands on the mat, and then just leaning into a seated forward fold with your legs crossed. And take a deep inhale. Exhale, coming forward into an all fours position. And then lifting, tucking those toes in, lifting into a downward dog. Deep breath in. Exhale, bending those knees, leaning all the way back into rest position. Rounding back up into all fours, opening that chest. Then tucking in those toes, lifting back up into downward dog. And we're going to do that movement a few more times. If you can recall, let's back into all fours, opening that chest, coming back into rest position. So we're just allowing that spine to loosen up, tucking in those toes, lifting up, deep breath in, exhale, bending those knees, and coming back into rest position. We're going to do that 2 more times. So we're rounding that spine all the way up into all fours. Opening that chest, looking up in front of you, tucking in those toes, lifting those glutes up towards the sky. Inhale. Exhale, bending those knees, coming back into that all fours. Deep breath in. Exhale, coming forward into that all fours. opening that chest, tucking in those toes, and lifting yourself back up. We're going to stay here for a little bit, pushing those heels into the ground, and then just drawing that head through those arms. Deep breath in. Keep holding. Let's hold for a few moments as we pedal out those legs. And let's go for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pushing both heels into the ground. Just starting to feel that heart rate begin to increase as we begin to move more. We're slowly going to walk our feet towards our hands. Slow and control, slight bend in those knees as you get closer to those hands. We're just going to hold here. If you can straighten those legs, but just remember that slight bend. Grabbing those opposite hands with those elbows. We're going to do that same thing as we did earlier, but just this time we are leaning left elbow towards left knee, opening that right side body. Inhale to center, and then right elbow to right knee. To that, stretching that left side body, coming back to center. And just going from left to right as we warm that body up. And one more on each side. And dropping those hands, and then slowly walking your hands all the way back into that downward dog. Okay, now what we're going to do is just lift that left arm, and we're going to grab that right ankle, and we're just going to rotate. This is quite a difficult movement. If you're waking up in the morning, your muscles might still be quite tight, and so just give yourself grace. But you're going to rotate from that level of that waist, and either grab your shin, your knee, or your thigh, depending on where you feel comfortable. And we're just looking under and up towards that sky, under that arm and up towards that sky. Keep holding. Enjoy that stretch down that leg, down that right leg. And now lifting that arm up and around. And we're going to do that same thing with the other arm. Grabbing either your shin, your thigh, or your knee. And you're just rotating. And every breath, just try to fall deeper into that posture. And let's go for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Placing that hand down and coming back into that downward dog. And then slowly walking those hands, feet back towards those hands. And as we're doing that, we're just coming into a half squat. We're going to hold here for a few seconds. Core tight. Deep breath in. Inhaling and exhaling. And slowly coming all the way down into seated. We're going to extend those toes onto the front of that mat, lengthening that spine. We're going to take a deep inhale, exhale, tucking in head, neck, and chest, leaning that chest towards those knees as you point those toes. Inhale to pause, exhale, coming back up into seated. Inhale, exhale, reaching forward towards those toes. Inhale to pause, exhale, back up. And let's do 2 more. Reaching forward, coming back up. So last one, I want you to flex those ankles, bringing them slightly larger than shoulder width apart. We're going to take a deep inhale, exhale, leaning forward. Pushing those knees into the ground as you flex those ankles. Deep breath in, exhale, coming back up, bringing your arms into T-point. Inhale, exhale, rotate left shoulder forward, right shoulder back, and then reach to the outside part of that right foot. Come back to center, rotating to T-point, now changing over. Internally rotating that back foot, back hand as you lean forward towards that outer left foot, coming back to center. So that's the movement. Just reaching forward, coming back up, and going forward to the other side. Up, back to starting point, rotate to the other side. And let's do one more on each side. After this one, keeping those ankles flexed. And to the right, back to center, and to the left, back to center. Placing both hands in front of you, feet on the mat, deep breath in, slowly rounding yourself all the way down into a supine position, so you're completely on your back. Taking a deep inhale, exhale, rounding that pelvis to lift those hips off the mat, one vertebra at a time. Just remember to keep your feet a foot and a half away from those glutes and a fist distance apart. Deep breath in, exhale, rounding that spine all the way back down. Inhale to pause, exhale, coming all the way back up, keeping that tummy tight, keeping those glutes tight, and you're just controlling that spine. You're imagining that pelvis lifting, and then vertebra by vertebra, you're lifting that pelvis higher as you lift that back up. Just remember to tuck in that pubic bone towards that chin. Slow and controlled. We're going to do that 2 more times. Squeezing those glutes. Inhale, exhale down. And the last one. We're going to stay in the air here. I want you to dig those heels into the ground. Imagine them coming towards your glutes. Core nice and tight. Deep breath in. Exhale, arms to T-point. Inhale, center. Arms overhead. Inhale, center. So the movement is in the arms, but while you're working, you have a deep strength and stability within those glutes and in that core, and you're feeling that deep activation into those hamstrings. So let's keep going. I want you to really focus on squeezing those glutes together. And coming back to center, taking an inhale as we lift that right leg up into tabletop. Deep breath in. Exhale, extending that leg. Inhale, exhale, we're lowering and then lifting. So when we lift, we're flexing the ankle. When we're lowering, we are pointing those toes. And as you're lifting and lowering, keeping those hips aligned, working that left glute as much as you can to ensure that that hip maintains a good height. If you are struggling, it's okay to drop a little bit. Let's go for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Aligning those knees and little pulsations for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and dropping that right leg, dropping those hips, arms into T-point, rocking those knees from left to right. Very nice. Very well done. Hope you guys are all managing. Coming back to center, taking an inhale, bringing arms towards the ceiling. Exhale, lifting those hips up towards the sky. Lifting left leg up into tabletop. Extending left leg. Deep breath in. Exhale, pointing that toes, you lower that leg, then back up. That's 1. Keep going. And exhale, down, inhale, up. Work really hard. Should be getting a very nice burn in that right glute. And let's go for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Aligning those knees to little pulsations for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dropping that left leg, lifting those hips, coming all the way down 1 vertebra at a time. Deep breath in, bringing arms overhead. Exhale, lifting yourself all the way back up into a seated position, lifting both legs up, going into boat posture. Core nice and tight. drawing that belly to spine, arms overhead, arms back to T-point, back overhead, and towards the sides of those legs. Keeping that core tight. So same movement as we did while we had our back on the floor. We're just in a different position. Using those back extensor muscles to keep that back straight. Sucking belly to spine. And we keep going. And last little bit. Let's do 3 more. That's 1. Keeping that tummy tight. And 2. And 3. And slowly grabbing those inner parts of your ankles. Knees are out to the side, pointing those toes. Deep breath in. Exhale, pointing right leg out. And then left leg. So we're just keeping those knees facing towards the ceiling. And we are alternating, extending those legs out. And just go as far as you feel comfortable, as you can manage. Don't push past pain. And now we're going to bring those knees in, grabbing the outside part of those ankles. Deep breath in. Exhale, pointing those toes up. So knees now are facing the ceiling. We're just lifting and lowering. And I'm just going to come to the center of the mat. We're going to progress this into rolling like a ball with those legs straight. So if you struggle to keep those legs straight, you can just, as we did in one of our sessions previously, just hold your knees, your shins like that and roll back. If you are feeling up for a little bit of a challenge, we're going to point those toes round that spine and inhale to prepare. Exhale, we're going to roll back and then come back up into that pike position. Deep breath in. Exhale, rounding back, coming back up into that pike and rolling back and holding. So again, if you struggle with your hamstring flexibility, that's okay. You can just bend those knees. And last one. We're going to progress this movement. Coming back up, we're going to bring our hands on the inside of those knees and wrap them around to grab those outside ones. This is called Happy Seal. So we're just progressing that movement. We're going to clap with our feet 3 times. And then we're going to roll back and clap with our feet 3 times. Then roll back up. Okay, so that's the movement. Sorry, my mic has just fallen. Coming back into it. Clap, 2, 3. Roll back. Clap, 2, 3. Roll back. Let's do that 2 more times. 1, 2, 3. Controlling yourself back. 1, 2, 3. Coming back up into seated. Last one. This is a lot of fun. It's a little bit of a challenge. But it's just that control in that spine and that core. 2, 3. Slowly coming back up. Holding for 3, 2, 1. And slowly just hugging those knees towards your chest. Opening that chest towards the sky. Deep breath in. And exhale slowly, coming all the way back down into supine. Feet are a foot and a half away from those glutes. You're interlacing those hands comfortably behind that head. It's a very small movement. If you do this one properly, you should feel a deep burn down that spine. We're going to slowly lift head, neck, and chest off the mat. And inhale to pause, exhale down. So during this one, I want you to try and avoid tucking in that pelvis to lift that head, neck, and chest. Try and keep that pelvis in that neutral position. And you're really working hard on activating that tummy to lift that head, neck, and chest off the mat, as opposed to moving that pelvis, if that makes sense. So we're going to lift up, sucking in that tummy, sucking in that pelvic floor. And let's do 3 more. And up. Core tight, sucking in that belly. Don't brace that tummy. And up. And let's hold here. Deep breath in. Exhale, we're going to bring that left elbow towards that left knee. Inhale, center. So you're working really hard. Try not to tilt that pelvis. You want to maintain a flat back, but you want that pelvis to stay in neutral. But if you do struggle with back pain, I'm happy that you tilt that pubic bone towards your chin. And 2 more on each side after this one. That's 1 and 2. And slowly keeping your neck and chest off the mat, lifting both knees up into tabletop. Deep breath in. Exhale, lifting up and coming back down. We're just progressing that. Exhale up, inhale to pause. Exhale down. And up and down. Stick with me. You should be getting a beautiful burn down that tummy. Small basic movements, but they really do work those abdominals. And we're going to do that same thing, coming back up to center, rotating towards that left knee, back, right knee, back. Slow, controlled, making sure that your core is doing all the work, not your neck, not your shoulders, not your head. And left. And right. Keep going. And last one. Coming back to center. Into little pulsations, pushing those arms down towards your sides. And then just pulsating that air for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And extending arms overhead. And just hugging those knees to chest. Looking left and right just to loosen up that neck. I know I certainly started working my neck those last few reps. Slowly coming back down. Arms are in a T-point. We're just going to rock your knees from left to right. And 1 more on each side after this. And slowly turning over to lie on that right hand side of your body. Shoulders, hips and knees all are in a line. You're going to stack those hips, stack that shoulder, just making sure you're not dropping down into that right shoulder, that right stabilizing shoulder. We're lifting that right leg up. We're going to bring it forward into toe tap and then back down to center into toe tap. Core nice and tight and down. And in this motion, I want you to make sure again that you're keeping that tummy tight to stabilize those hips. Keep going. And let's go for another 3. Keep going. And 2. And 1. Coming back up, lifting that hip as high as you can. Slight forward rotation of that upper hip. Keeping that ankle flexed. We're bending and extending. That's 1. And 2. 3. 4. 5. We're doing 10 of these. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10 and little pulsations for 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5, 4, 3, 2, and another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly coming back down and coming all the way up into a seated position. We're just going to turn over into an all fours and we're just going to come into a rest position for a few deep breaths. Inhale. And exhale. And slowly Coming back up, we're going to tuck those toes in under those feet, and we're going to hold in this fury hold for a few moments. Deep breath in, exhale out. Imagine like you're pushing yourself away from the floor. Keep holding. And let's hold for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming into that downward dog. You'll feel as you get into this next downward dog posture that you can go a little bit deeper as in comparison to your first downward dog today. And take a deep inhale. Exhale, rolling forward into a front support or plank position, and slowly coming down. You can do knees, chest, floor, or just go straight into chaturanga, lifting up that chest, and slowly coming all the way down onto your tummy. I'm going to rest that head on those arms, lifting both legs off the mat, so knees are off the floor, core nice and tight. Deep breath in, exhale, pulling those knees away from each other, then back to center. You're using the glutes to lift those knees off the mat, and you are keeping that core tight so that you can protect that low back, drawing the shoulders down that back. And coming back to center, keeping your forehead on those arms. You're just going to lift that head and hands up, and then back down, and up, and back down. And as you lift, I want you to squeeze your scaps down and towards each other, and lift. Remember, those knees off the mat, but if you are struggling, you can drop those knees. And let's go for another 3. Exhale up, 2, and 1. Now extending those arms, and we're just going to hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now slowly coming back into rest position, just to do a counter pose. Very nice. Keep up the good work. I'm really feeling that all the way in my core, my glutes, and my back. Coming over to lie on that left hand side now. Hips, knees, and shoulders all aligned. Lifting that right leg up. Deep breath in, toe tap, and then forward, toe tap. That's 1. Core tight to keep that stability in those hips and that shoulder. Try and get that knee at a 90 degree. If you struggle, that's okay, as long as you're just lifting forward. And you should be getting a nice activation into that right glute. And try and make a big movement up, across, down, up, across, down, up, across. Let's do 3 more. That's 1. And 2. And 3. Coming back to center. Wow, I'm feeling quite a burn. We're just going to do those little pulsations for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bending and extending for 10. Keep going. Feeling like you need a break, that's okay. You can stop and just jump right back in. That's 5, 6, 7. My glutes are burning. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And slowly dropping down and turning over onto that back. Placing right ankle onto that left knee and hugging. We're just going to do a figure 4 glute stretch. Opening that knee. Allowing that heart rate to slowly start coming back to resting. Drawing that other knee away just to stretch out that glute. And changing over. Left ankle on right knee. And let's hold for another few seconds. You can close your eyes here if you want to. Just allowing that heart rate to come back to resting. We worked really hard today. We got into those glutes, that core, that upper back, as well as some beautiful stretches. I hope you're feeling great after that workout. We're slowly going to lift ourselves all the way back up into seated. And then we're just going to bring our soles of our feet back in contact with one another, and we're just lengthening that spine. And just try and get that posture in, drawing those knees away from that body. Deep breath. Now we're going to extend that left leg and lifting that right arm up and overhead. And we're just going to hold here, allowing that inner part of that thigh to stretch out. Deep breaths, try and stack those shoulders. Look up towards the ceiling if you can. Slowly coming back and tucking in that left foot as you extend that right foot. Deep breath in and lifting that left arm overhead. Keep holding. If you can try and touch that toe. I've been doing a lot of running, so my body is quite tight. I think it really appreciated this session today. Just getting in those stretches and that mobility after some good mileage this past weekend. And slowly coming back up, we're going to crisscross those legs, placing our arms out in front of you, taking a deep inhale. Exhale, lifting your arms up all the way to the sky, chest to sky. Inhale and exhale. And inhale, exhale, dropping your hands all the way down. And we are complete. Thank you yet again for having fun and rolling around the mat with me today. And for those of you who live in Durban, don't forget to book a session at our new Sunshine Club studio. I have left a link in the description below. And all first timers, your first 2 classes are free. So please come along. It will be so great to see your faces there. The rest of you, thank you for joining me from all over the world. I think it's such a privilege and a beautiful thing that we can still connect no matter what country we are in, no matter what time zone or continent we are in. And yeah, if you feel like you want to comment and let me know where you are tuning in from, that'll be so great. It'll give me a better idea of who I'm talking to and who are joining me on these classes and during this series. Sending so much love, and I will see you next week, same time.